How- How's everybody? We got
Fabulous.
Kathy and Catlin.
Good.
I don't know, some of you are just coming out in as phone numbers, which is totally fine, but maybe you could let us know who's here. Who's 668-382823?
That's Rita, Stacy.
Hi,
Hi.
Hi, Rita. Who's the
Hello.
937?
That's Kara.
Hi, Kara.
Hello.
And 440-655.
That's Casey.
Hi, Casey.
Hello.
All right. Kat is on, Lynn and Kathy. So how are we liking this? Well, before we even start there, just like all our meetings that we do, I'd like you to share some bright spots. So Kathy, I know you're used to this, so how about we start with you, some bright spots.
Well, I went to CrossFit this morning. And I laid in bed praying before I opened up the curtain that it was so snowy. I couldn't go. I even sent a text to Bill last night and said, I won't be there if it's really bad. Damn it, it wasn't. And I made front squats and I did okay.
And no, you did more than okay. You did really good.
Yeah. But anyway, I went to CrossFit. That's my very big bright spot for today.
All right, that's a win.
Now you have a call holding on
Hi,
call
Kat.
part one.
All right, Lynn, how about you? Give us some bright spots.
I've done really good with getting my water in.
Good.
Ooh.
Any tips for that?
So I have an app on my watch which reminds me to take a drink about every hour, I would say. So that really, really helps.
Is it the obnoxious one like Kathy has that sounds like a waterfall?
And I ignore every time.
No, I did have to get a new one because I had one before, and like Kathy was just saying, I learned to ignore it. So I had to get a new and different one to kind of change it up a little bit.
Good. Well, I'm glad it's working. Good. Kat, how about you?
Bright spots?
Yeah.
Well, it's the start of the week. It's a good week. Got my water here. So I guess, what was the question? I missed a little bit of it. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. We're each sharing a bright spot.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this week's a good week. I think I shared with you, over the holiday bliss that's been happening. So at least now everything's a little bit back on track now.
Good. Holidays will do that, right?
Yes, yes.
Casey, how about you? I think we lost Casey.
Oops.
Bummer. I'm glad she was here. Hi, Veronica. Kara.
Was actively filling my water bottle as we were all saying our bright spots. Made it to CrossFit this morning. Had a nice nap with my fur balls afterwards, so feeling good.
Very good. And you did really well this morning.
Yeah.
Rita, how about you?
Good morning, everyone. I would say definitely ditto on the water. And instead of like seeing either my full or empty water glass, if I see it there, actually get up and drink the whole glass instead of, I'll sip it during the day. If I think about it, I just get up and drink the whole glass. So that's definitely helped me.
Good job. Very cool. And are you home? You're home.
I am home.
Yeah. She was in sunny Florida. And Veronica, how about you?
I have a half-gallon water that I drink most days. I'm pretty good at drinking about 1.5 of them a day. As long as I'm on top of it in the morning, because I think that's when I drink the most water. And then in the evenings is kind of where I fall off on that. So yeah, that's usually where I'm at with that. Sometimes in the morning, if I I'm not particularly thirsty or I'm craving like something else, like a soda or like a juice, that's when I have a harder time catching up on that. But for the most part, I think I'm doing an okay job.
Well,
So,
yeah, 1.5 of your gallons is good.
yeah.
Body oil. Good
So
job.
it's a half gallon, so it's like it's not even a gallon of water, but it's close.
It's a start, right?
Hmm.
Good. And Bill jumped on, so hi, Bill.
Yeah, I didn't know it was an all-girl party. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
My turn.
Mhm.
So on the topic of water, I've been better at getting my water in, and I did discover a new little trick for myself. I always drink a decent amount of water right when I get up. I usually drink I've had between 16 and 24 ounces before I leave the house. But what I'm making myself do now is before I have my first cup of coffee, and if you've been to any early classes at the gym, you know the first thing I do when I walk in the door is brew a cup of coffee. Is I fill my coffee cup full of water, and I have to drink that before I give myself permission to drink coffee. And it's working. Just helping me get more water in early. When I do it a lot early, I get it done. If I don't drink it enough early, I never seem to catch up.
Yeah.
So that's a win for me.
I'd say that's a win.
Now, the next step is I'm going to force myself to have a coffee cup full of water before I have my second cup of coffee. I haven't mastered that one yet. I'll be honest.
Did I miss anybody?
Stop. Right.
No? Good. Well, I'm really glad to see all of you. I don't know. Could you guys hear an echo or are we just hearing it on our end?
You're fine.
Oh, you should have.
Yeah, I don't hear any echo.
Okay. Cool. Did anybody by chance? Wait, watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna be so techie here. Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
How's that? I bet my husband's very impressed with me. Did anybody read this? Should we read it together? No, I'm just kidding.
I can't see what you're referring to. I'm just on the phone, so.
Oh, that's okay. So I had put, and I apologize, I put it in last week before the what was supposed to be our first meeting. I put in just a sheet, and it's, it's 1.5 pages of 10 reasons why you should drink more water. And I'll put this in our group. I'll share this in our group. It's just nice to have as a reference. Just because it's just so good. I mean, I like to think of water as our lubricants, but it just keeps the body flowing and it helps with our mood. And, we're drinking more water, we might be eating less, which can save money, helps with cramps and strains, promotes weight loss, your toxins, helps with your poop, natural headache remedy, boosts your immune system. So it's just, in general, water is just a really good thing for us to do. It also helps keep us full. So just in general, water is just a really good thing. And it's so much harder to get in, as we all know, than it should. It just seems like, oh yeah, drink your water, no big deal. But I think that most of us can agree that we start our day strong. And then, who said that? Veronica, you said that, and then it goes to the wayside. And it's like, well, why is that? One of my tips, and I know most of you are at an office, but maybe perhaps every time you go to the bathroom, you drink a cup of water when you come out, or maybe before, whatever, doing something that you're already doing, right? So going to the bathroom, I'm going to have a glass of water. And then that's going to keep us having to go to the bathroom, which is a good thing. And now we're going to be getting more water in, because every time I go to the bathroom, I'm going to drink some more water. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
I'm going to stop sharing this so I can see all your faces. Anybody else? I'll bring some of these in. If anybody wants one to actually have, or like I said, I'll I'll share it in our group. But in general, it's a good lubricant. It's just really good for us. Like Bill said, first thing in the morning, get up, drink a glass, brush your teeth. Maybe drink another one before you leave the house. It all adds up. And then also, I think we can all agree that half our body weight in ounces is our goal, our long-term goal. And that's, depending on how much we weigh, can be a bigger number than we want. Or even if you're only 100 pounds, 50 ounces of water can be a lot. So instead of thinking I have to get all of my water in, setting that goal a little bit lower so that you're actually achieving it. And if this is one of your action steps, we all have different action steps, but I do know a lot of you have water on it, including myself. So instead of saying I need 100, 50 ounces of water, we'll just go with that 100-pound person. Let's back it back down so I can achieve my goal rather than saying, oh, I didn't do that again. And then you kind of get that negative mindset, like, I'm a loser, right? So let's adjust that water goal and know that the long-term goal, which we've talked about, is to be able to get my water. And why am I going to feel better when I get my water? Because my skin's going to be better, my hair is going to be better, I'm going to stay full, I'm going to eat less, I'm going to save money because I'm eating less. And that's a whole big thing. But thinking of that as our long-term goal is to get to that ideal water weight or water consumption. And let's break it down so it's not so overwhelming. And think about, you know what, I drink 3 of these a day. Okay, cool. Let's make that your goal for maybe just 2 weeks and you're accomplishing it, right? Then we can up it. But instead of looking at that ultimate goal, look at where we are today and hit those goals. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, for
Just
me.
give us a nod of the head. Some of us are muted. And I think that those of you who have water on your goal list, that we've talked about that it's the goal isn't our body weight or half our ounce body weight in ounces today, but it's to get there. And it seems like you guys are doing a really good job, especially some of you newer people, at hitting that right off the bat, which is awesome. Anybody feel different now that they're getting more water in? Don't be shy. Rita, you feel different?
I was going to say, I feel different for, I think, 2 reasons. One has been my water, which, I am terrible at. I will not go to the bath at 5 o'clock at night, not TMI, hopefully, but at 5 o'clock in the evening, I'll go to undo my jeans to go to the bathroom and realize this is the first time I've done this all day, which that's a problem. That, I know I'm not getting enough water. So that's usually my issue. So I've been very good about that. But the other thing that I have felt good about, and I wanted to ask you guys about this, for me, I know, and I know for everybody, sugar is bad. And I hate to switch the subject on you, but it kind of goes to how I'm feeling. So I've increased my water and I've severely decreased my sugar. Like I haven't, in 2 weeks, I haven't had literally hardly any sugar, and I'm sleeping a lot better. So I didn't know if it was one of those things or both of those things, or if you guys know, you eliminate sugar, everything is going to be better, or so I'll just throw that question out there.
I don't know if there's I think it's all encompassing, right? You're drinking more water, so you're flushing your system, so you feel better. You're not eating sugar, which we know is toxic. And so your body's not doing those highs and lows. So you're feeling better.
Right.
You're sleeping better, that all of it. So
yeah.
I don't know if there's more of a scientific answer than that, but in general, you're just going to feel better. And also, Rita, you're back into a workout routine that maybe you had been working out before, but you're back into a routine. So that's all. It's all encompassing, right?
Well, it's all, no matter what it is, it's all contributing to some really good night's sleep, and that's huge for me.
Yeah, good. So maybe keep that as the motivation in your pocket, like,
Yeah.
ooh, this cookie looks really good, but I've been sleeping good. And I don't know,
Yeah.
this cookie probably will make me not sleep as well because my heart rate goes up, my insulin levels go up, and, keep that as the motivation in your back pocket.
Yeah, definitely.
Bill, do you have something scientific to say
CW person.
or to add? Can you hear him?
Not really.
We had an echo before. Just you said it fine. Your body works better. You drink more water. Our bodies are, what do they say, 80% water. There's a lot of water that we're made up of. And the more we drink, the better it works. And then you're removing a toxin. Even though sugar tastes so good, it's toxic, especially in high doses. One thing I'll say though, make sure that you don't drink too much water at a particular time. There is too much that can be bad. So let's say you're thinking I'm behind, and so I'm going to just in the next 20 minutes I'm going to pump down 48 ounces of water. It's too much at once. Your sodium levels will dilute in your body. Your liver can't process that much more. It's just a thing. It's like, I think the rule of thumb for an average sized person, they say 32 ounces of water or a liter of water per hour is about the outside limits that you don't want to exceed. So
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah, I definitely don't think
can't
I'm
go at 5 o'clock and
exceeding.
drink 80 ounces of water and say you're good.
Yeah, no.
Something bad's going to
No.
happen. And if you drink too much water a lot, there's a nasty condition that comes from real low level electrolytes. I can never say it.
Neutrimia.
It's a real thing. People can die from it.
I've actually taken care of people at Lakewood Hospital in the ICU because of hyponatremia.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Say it again. If I'm looking at the word on paper, I can say it, but I can never say it.
Hyponatremia.
Yeah. And I don't know how many a year, but high school or college athletes will die on the field because they're overhydrating. They think it's a good thing and
Wow.
go right to the sugar.
Yeah.
That's all.
I don't think that's my problem.
Same here.
Veronica,
Well, you know how kids are, athletes are like, all right, I'm tough. And if water's good, I'm gonna super hydrate so I can play better. And then they die. It's like, that's
Yeah.
It's bad.
too
It's
much of a good thing.
tough.
Veronica, you were nodding your head in agreement that, yes, yes, you try to get it all in at once. Seemed like you were nodding your head.
There's definitely been times where I've been behind and I've tried to catch up. I don't know if I've drank enough to be at risk, but I've definitely drank so much water that I felt worse because of it. It's I felt super just bloated and it wasn't, I didn't have to pee yet, but I was I wish I could because I want to get all this water out because I drink so much so quickly. So I definitely I try not to do that anymore because it made me feel like crap.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, good. Yeah. So I think that maybe if we all try that, every time I pee, I'm going to drink another glass of water. Think I'm emptying, I'm filling, I'm empty, I'm filling. And then throughout the day, and then some of us, especially some of us older people, might want to stop at a certain time a day so that it's not keeping us up at night, right? I'm not pointing any names, but that's a real thing too. It's then you got to get up in the middle of the night and pee, and who wants that? Because now we're interrupting our sleep, which is a different subject for a different day.
I will say, speaking as an older person, I don't know if anybody has any medications that they have to take that might make them pee. By switching up the times that you take that medications to the morning instead of the night, that helped me a lot. Because I am older person. I am not up all night going to the bathroom anymore because just switching anything I took, even my supplements, some of the supplements that I took that I know, were making me go to the bathroom all night. Switching it to the daytime, it has changed everything.
Oh,
for
good.
me.
Good for you. Yeah. As long as the medication you're taking is okay to take at any time. But yes, for sure.
True.
Anybody have any questions or anything, or any, we're talking about water, but it doesn't have to only be about water. Any other questions in general about Some of us are just starting our nutrition journeys, health journeys, accountabilities. Anybody find that on the days they're working out, they're more thirsty or hungry?
Hungry.
Mhm.
And I
Well-
find it's hard not to use it as an excuse, to be honest with you. Like, oh, I worked out, I can have this crappy breakfast, as Stacy knows very well is but I mean, I'm sure all of you probably, or we all could say that, oh, I just worked out, I could go have this bagel now. And, it's a mind game, I know, but
It's remembering to keep that long-term goal, your why that we talk about. Why am I doing this? Because I want to feel better and blah, 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 all the way down. And so, yes, going and having that crappy meal. But I will tell you, on days that you are hungry, don't deprive yourself from real foods. And I'm not talking about, going and splurging because you worked out. But if you're hungry, your body's telling you something. It's saying, I'm hungry. You need to feed me more. That's your energy source. So on the days that you are, and we're all at a different point in our journeys and where we are working out. But if you have done a heavy lifting day and you're hungry, eat, pack that extra snack, knowing that you're going to be hungry because it's a lifting day. And then I'm not telling you as this is a reason to do it, but if you're going to do something not so healthy, after your workout is the time.
oh, perfect.
But no, that's not an excuse. That doesn't mean go get your bagel. It
I
just
thought
means-
that meant I had to start working out 5 days a week.
But that is the time. There's a whole lot of scientific reasonings behind it, but that is the time that if you are going to have an occasional whatever, that would be the time, and not on a Sunday afternoon to go get an ice cream cone because you've been good all week. It never tastes as good as you think it's going to taste as that reward. I mean, I don't think, but it's in your head. Kathy's like, yes, it
So true.
does.
Yeah, don't lie, Stacy.
Did you have
The
something to say,
guilt
Rita?
afterwards is what doesn't taste well.
Right? Well, that's a whole big thing there. Rita, were you going to add to that?
No, I was just agreeing with you. It's never as good as you think it's going to be, or afterwards you're like, oh,
Yeah,
that wasn't that great.
And why do I do that
Yeah.
to myself, and all the
Yeah.
negative that comes with that?
Yeah. So even just making yourself wait, because I know so many times I'm like, oh, I want to get in the car and I want to go get a bagel, and I'll be like, just wait 5 minutes. Just don't leave for 5, you know what I mean? And the feeling goes away. So
Always,
not acting on it right away is a huge help too.
that's a very good point. Yes, not acting on it right away, and dare I say, do 5 burpees and then tell me you want it.
Right.
Hold on, I'm unmuting Bill. When he talks, we have an echo, so I'm unmuting him. He has something.
Mission there. Am I back?
Yes.
Just you mentioned about eating after a workout. It's important to make sure you eat enough protein after a workout too, especially a strength workout, because your muscles they get torn down during this exercise, and it's going to rebuild, and it needs the protein to do that. And what I just learned recently, within the last month or so, listening to one of my favorite physician podcasts, he had a PhD protein specialist on. And even the doctor, Peter Attia, was surprised at this, that if you don't eat at least 30 grams of protein, and that's again for an average sized person, 30 grams of protein, you won't get the benefit of that protein getting taken up into your muscles for rebuilding. It's called, the term is muscle protein synthesis. And so let's say you're going to dribble your protein throughout the day. You have a hard workout and you eat about 15 grams, 20 grams, 3 ounces, and then you eat a little bit more 3 or 4 hours later. And those amino acids aren't going to go and build muscle. It takes a certain amount to trigger your muscles to take that protein in. I never knew that. So little tidbit. And you don't have to, there's a thing out there that says you got to eat it within a half an hour or 20 minutes of your workout. And that's a myth. That's been brought on by the supplement people because they want you to buy their protein shake and have it in your bottle and suck it down in your car. As long as you have a well-balanced meal within a couple hours of that workout, from what I've studied, it's still, you're going to get the benefit. You don't have to be in a hurry.
I want you to clarify that. You said 30 grams of protein in that next meal.
Let's just say in an hour.
Oh,
So you don't have to go and get it immediately.
Hmm.
And if you want sources for any of what I said, I can give it to you. But that was very surprising about the amount that you have to have in order for your body to say, all right, I'm going to uptake that protein for those amino acids in your bloodstream and actually grow muscle.
So
Because your
just
body
so I
doesn't
can,
want to do that. Unless it's forced to.
just so I can visualize what 30 grams of a
I can't
protein
hear you, so
is.
that's a question. Let me know.
Stacy, what would 30 grams of a protein look like?
That's a really good question. So. Yeah, Bill couldn't hear you, so I'm going to repeat it. What does 30
Okay.
grams of protein look like? That's a very good question. So when we think about our hand portion, this is about 3 ounces. You know, we should be, without weighing and measuring, thinking about a deck of cards, which our phones are a little bit bigger. So maybe a deck of cards would be about 3 grams. So the size of this iPhone. That's what I said, 3 ounces. Oh, I'm sorry. I said 3 grams. I meant 3 ounces.
Okay,
Okay, so 3 ounces is about 21 grams. So you want to
Okay.
go to 4 ounces, which will get you about 30. So thinking about a little larger than the palm of your hand is a good eyeball.
okay.
Or like my phone is probably I don't know if you can really see how big my phone is, but it's like it's a 10, I think, or 12, but it's not that little one. So just think a little
no,
bit
that gives
bigger
you a
than
big-
your palm.
I know, but I'm right there. Hello?
If you're thinking about eggs, like, because I know a lot of you will eat eggs, 2 full eggs and 4 egg whites.
Okay.
4 egg whites and
Okay.
2 full eggs.
Okay. Thanks.
I just looked up protein, 1 4-ounce grilled chicken breast is 35 grams of protein.
There you go.
Okay. So about 4 ounces, like you said. Okay.
Mhm. 4-ounce chicken breast is
Right.
35 grams.
Cooked weight.
Well, yeah, how much, it just says 4-ounce, yeah, probably
Yeah.
cooked weight, 4-ounce serving of chicken. And I know this isn't the topic today, but we have to get into that cooked weight versus, and if you're grinding your vegetables up, how do you do? I just am still so hung up on that.
So your vegetables don't get hung up on. Just keep loading them up. Keep loading them up.
Yeah.
And then what was the other part of that?
Well, like I make a lot of vegetables mixed into things so
Mhm.
that I'm getting a whole box of spinach in meatballs or something.
Mhm.
And so I get very hung up on how do I measure? So is that a 4-ounce meatball with that has half a thing of spinach in it? Or do I do like an 7-ounce meatball because it's a lot of spinach or carrots or whatever?
Good question. So what I do, especially like when let's say we're making meatballs, that's what we're doing. So if you're using 1 pound of beef or turkey or chicken, whatever you're using, that should be about 4 servings, right? So there's 16 ounces in a pound, and we'll get 4 servings out of that. So you can make 4 really big meatballs, and they're going to be big because they're loaded with vegetables. But that's how I kind of count without going crazy and weighing and measuring. I don't know how much my zucchini and mushrooms and everything I put in there weighs. But in general, you can think, okay, I'm going to now divide this into 4 servings. So maybe you make 8 meatballs. Now you have 2 meatballs per serving.
Hmm.
Bill has something to say.
Yes, on my back. One thing, an easy mistake you could make those days is that, remember, when you cook, you're taking a pound of ground beef, that's pre-cooked. And so if you make 4 meatballs, you're thinking that's 4 ounces each, but then when you cook it, it's really gonna go down to 3 ounces.
I didn't,
You know what I mean? I'm just mentioning it to, like, it.
one pound of beef is 4 servings. So yes, it'll go down to 3 ounces because that goes into Kathy, your whole cooked, pre-cooked weight. Right?
I know we're off top. I'm sorry
When
for
in
being
doubt,
so
when in
off topic.
doubt, overeat your protein by a 10 or 20% factor. You don't worry about the calories in it, because remember, protein isn't an immediate fuel source. Your body's not burning it, using it like sugars and fats or carbohydrates and fats. So if you're overeating on the protein, as long as you're not overdoing it, it's not getting stored as fat. It just floats in your bloodstream until it gets used. So if you're going to overeat anything, protein's the way to go.
Okay. I know Stacy, you and I have talked about this, and I still get very hung up on it in my head, you know?
No, it's totally fine. And it's a very good question, right? I mean, but so that's why I'm saying in general, without going crazy on this, just think that 1 pound is 4 servings. Like Bill said, it's 4 ounces pre-cooked and now we're getting 3 ounces, but you know, we could get all technical too. Like, well, I'm a smaller person. I only need 3 ounces. I'm a bigger person. I need 6 ounces, whatever. But in general, if you think about that, is
A 4-ounce serving.
yeah, uncooked. Yeah. Does that help?
So
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys, please forgive me, but for anybody that does not like their vegetables just plopped on a plate, you'll love me for asking these questions. So like I get a 3-pound container of ground turkey from the grocery store. It's 3 pounds in that large container. And I put that in a bowl and I mix in a whole container of spinach that I just, chopped up fine. And I throw in some zucchini and mushrooms and whatever, red peppers and whatever vegetables I can possibly sneak and hide in there. And then I scoop and make 4-ounce balls out of all of that. Now, so that's considered 1 meatball is 1 serving, correct? Prior to cooking, I got my little scale out and I grab and I plop it on my scale and I go, okay, this is a ground turkey mixed full of stuff. I measure out 4-ounce balls and I make a meatball. That is a 1 serving of meatball.
No, what I would do is go back to, you have 3 pounds of meat, right? And we're so there's 4 per pound, 4 servings per pound in general, might be a little bit bigger, not smaller.
Yeah.
Okay? So that would be 12 servings. So you would need, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so and Kathy's been around for a little bit. So some of you who are kind of newer, don't worry about weighing and measuring. We're just all at different points. So that's why I like to use the hand as an idea, or in general of 1 pound is 4 servings. So now you have 12 servings. Any way you look at it, now you have, so if you come out with, you could make 12 meatballs, or you can make 24,
right,
or even go beyond that, whatever it is, you have 12 servings because you started with 3 pounds of meat.
I got it now. So if I have 24 meatballs, that's 2 meatballs per serving. Got it. It's only taken me 2 years to figure that out. Thank you.
I try to keep it general like that. I mean, now that but we could go, I mean, like, trust me. So now we're being general because we're also at different points too. When you're really ready to hone in, and we're ready to really hone in, then we could get really specific, and you're going to weigh your meat and you're going to weigh your, everything. But so that's why we like to keep that home. The cup is that little, as I say, that FU pasta, like that's hardly anything, but that's our starchy starches. And then the vegetables have at it, and your fats, thinking about the thumb, so that we can all picture this without going crazy on weighing and measuring, things like that, so that we can keep it in general. But that's my general rule of thumb, is 1 pound is 4 servings.
I got it now for some reason.
Yeah, I have a recipe that I make. We call it Palucci burgers. That's just the person who shared the recipe with me, so that's why Palucci is her last name. But these things, they're huge because I fill it with mushrooms and all kinds of vegetables. I mean, they're big. Like that's a huge burger. And they look huge on the plate, and they look huge on, they look huge on the baking tray, and they look huge on my thing. But I have so much vegetables in there. So that's a good way. That's why I know that.
Thank
Good
you.
question. Yeah, good questions. And it's okay that it's off topic. We're here to share. And anybody have any questions or anything that they want? I mean, I kind of have an outline on what we're going to do weekly, but I certainly want to keep it on track with what you are looking for. So if there's any topics that anybody wants, Kathy, what did you just mention to me on topics?
Me?
Yeah, didn't you mention a topics? Maybe we just covered it.
Yeah, I don't.
Anybody else have anything? Yeah, or just send it to me. I kind of have an outline on how and what we're going to cover, but it doesn't, well, you guys all know I'm not a mainstream kind of girl. Happy to go off topic when I can.
Can we talk about here's a topic. Can we talk about sugars and all the forms that sugars come in? And on a label, when it says, so you might be looking, I guess somebody posted the tortillas on our group thing. And I know that some people that are clean eaters would go, oh my God, those are horrible, horrible, horrible. But if you look at them and how do you, so this is a good topic for a future discussion, because I would look at that wrap and see that it's got 30 carbs, but it has 15 grams of fiber. So then your net carbs are only whatever. And is that considered more sugar? Is it not? So that's a great conversation for how to distinguish the difference between sugars and fibers and carbs, and also, when is the time to not worry about clean, perfect eating and get an almond flour thing and say, heck, I want a regular tortilla, and this one's better for me than this one.
Yeah, so I just want to clarify what it is you're looking for. I think we have possibly 2 topics. One, how to read a nutrition label and what's in it and deciding what's good. And then the other is, well, I guess it's really
the carbs, sugars, fiber, and
right. Well, so we have sugars as one topic, and how to read the different sugars. And there are a ton, and I have a handout for that. So there's that's a topic. And then the next topic is reading a label. Am I understanding that?
Yeah.
How to read a label?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, very good. Those are both on my list. So, and I have handouts for those. And I don't know which one we'll do next, but probably sugars, because I think sugars are everywhere and they're hidden in a lot of things. And then as we keep going and some of the newer people are catching up on these things that are starting to learn labels, then we'll do more of a reading label. And Kathy, that's not to say that we can't go over some of that in one of our meetings.
I am happy to be in this group. I really am, because
I know you're a very driving force for it, and I'm happy for it. I'm grateful for it. I will tell you that Bill does coaching, his strength program. He does weekly calls, and they're very beneficial. This is our safe space, and we're here to help each other. There's no right, there's no, I shouldn't say no right or wrong, but it's an open forum. So if you're struggling with something and you want help, or our wins, we always start with wins, right? We always want to help build each other up and boost each other up as ourselves. Like when you say, I hit my water goal for 3 days in a row. Hey, you should be pretty proud, and you should be happy to be sharing that. And we're all going to celebrate with you. And that's what this group is about. So thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have a question or anything? I'm gonna see a lot of you tonight. Looking forward to that. And hope I'll see you next Wednesday. There will be a recording of this for those who missed it. Kara, you have anything?
Nope, nothing for me.
Good job today. Kara and I worked out together, so good job. All right, guys, we're gonna sign off. I will have a recording of this. I'll post it. Real quick, are you guys liking this group in the group chat?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Please
like
don't be-
it.
Please don't be afraid to post anything. Question, again, we're not there to criticize. We're only there to help and learn. So wins, post it. Recipes, post it. Be as active as you guys can be, the better the group is going to be.
Thank
I will
you.
post I'll post the recording of this there in case you guys want to re-listen to it, but probably the people who weren't here hopefully will. I appreciate y'all coming.
Thank you.
So, bye,
Thanks,
guys.
Stacy. Thanks, Phil.
Bye.
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 Bye.